Hi, family. This is a continuation of the first part, because I'm in South Africa, and here in my world, we take parts in using power. So my time had passed, and I had to give a chance to everybody else. So it got cut mid-recording, but we are here. Let's continue. We were still talking about the effect of the egg in terms of doing a ritual or a aura cleansing ritual. I know it's quite controversial for anybody to be talking about witchcraft that exists in their family, because it is quite nicer or much more comforting, or what can I say, comfortable, when you are thinking that your issues are happening outside of where you are. But there are certain issues that are foundational issues. They happen because of the people that have birthed you are aligned to certain negative energies, right? Or they happened because people that are in your family, whether your aunties, your uncles, whoever, that know your surname, that share the blood system as you, that know your clan names, are able to, in spirit, go ahead of you and do things that really adults should not be doing to their own children. Or there are certain people who are imposing generational curses in your family. And this is how we are going to be breaking up those particular curses and cleansing the aura. That's another part. The other part is, you have children. They seem to be influenced by other people outside of who you are. You no longer have control over your children. Your children no longer hear you reprimanding them. They have external influences. My child is doing drugs. My child is doing certain things. And I need you to hear me well. Parents, I need you to hear me well. If it is a spiritual thing that has been imposed, that your children do not become your children, if it has been imposed that your children become a subject of generational curses and they do not function well, they are not good family members, or they're just literally doing something against their own futures, and it's a spiritual thing, it has a spiritual foundation, then we go to this thing. There are some people who do certain things because it is just merely out of choice. And I do not want you to misinterpret me and say, when my child is doing drugs, Gogo said I must use the egg. If it is a spiritual issue, and a spiritual practitioner must be able to let you know that this is indeed a spiritual issue, and we can fight it as such. If it's a choice issue, then it is not a spiritual issue, and it cannot be solved in a way of spirit. So how do you make a distinction? I normally make an example that says, out of your reading, if we say to you, your ancestors are saying you are going to be rich, you are going to, I'm just using a money example because I would use a money example. It's so an interview thing to do. Let's say they're saying to you that you are going to be rich, and after that reading, you go straight into the drug dealer's house and you start to sniff your life away. That is a personal choice. That is a choice. It is not a spiritual thing. But when somebody has imposed a curse and said, against the females of this family, against the males of this family, against the children of this particular woman or a particular man, they must never, ever, ever live, then it is an issue that we sort out, and we cut down whatever energy that has been sent or deposited your way. We sort it out spiritually. So how would we do it? At the river, you are here, and say your child has really agreed to come to a cleansing at the river. We take 2 eggs, we take another egg, representative of you, representative of who they are, and then we combine them using certain hair. We combine them, break, normal combine, break, use certain herbs, right? We use certain herbs that are going to make you as one. Why this? Because this is a child. They go into their own world. They're coming out of your system. But at all times, as a parent, and I'm not talking about overbearing parents that really want to control their children and affect the children's life. I don't want you to drive this car, marry this woman, do that. I'm not talking about those parents. I'm talking about parents who are losing control over managing their lives and their children's lives at the level that you need to know. After this level, before this level, this is my child. After that level, this is an individual and they need to go make out their own decisions. So please, please, please understand me well, because we have very overbearing parents that are just out there to disturb the lives of their children. That's the first part I spoke about. Now, your parent must be able to have a spiritual covering over you. Now, the ritual is so that you and this child are connected, and you are a spiritual covering of your child. And that's why we would do it. And after that, certain things would change. Ne? There are certain generational curses where you find that the family members of this household will die of a certain illness. They will be blind. They will have madness. Many things will happen as a result of somebody else's voice looking at this family and saying there will never be prosperity, and all of them are tied at birth. So before you even get a chance to explore yourself and explore your life, somebody has already crushed you, quite literally. And so you would then use the egg to break such generational curses. We are not getting married. When we get married, we get divorced. We make money, and after a certain period, we just lose it all. I had a consultation the other day where when I was giving the client a generational reading, we found out that the males of that family, no matter how successful they get, they end up just being people who are just going to be drinking their lives away and not caring. And he said, people would just stop working. Teachers, principals, they would just stop working because there's a thing against the males of that family. And in the reading, he then finds it out. So things like an egg would help. So there are different ways of conducting this ritual of an egg. You can take a pen, not a pen, a marking pen. You can take a marking pen and you write your name on it. You write a name, Ntabi. Ntabi with a Y for impact. The Y is really just for impact. You speak to this egg. This egg is Ntabi saying, it's a mirror effect of who I am. I am pulling my energy into this egg and I'm making this egg me as well. Ntabi saying, Wejan, if there's anything that was ever done against me, against you, mirror effect, that has went ahead of our lives, that is not of God, that is not of our good ancestors. I break whatever covenant that was made. I break any altar that my name exists, my face exists. I break any altar of evil that is meant to destroy, hinder, or just put stagnancy in my life. You can talk to it, and then you let it run all over you, just like this. Please don't ask me, do I break the egg before I do this thing? The way that I'm having it, you just, so that it feels your energy, you feel its energy, and then on the feet, and then you can just break it. You can break the egg, whether in a basin, because you've spoken to it, and just discard the yolk and everything that comes out of it, and then you take the shells and you throw them away. Or you can do this thing in while you're having a bath. Speak to the egg and then break it in your bath water and bath with it, calling all the good things that you want to happen, discarding all the bad things and calling the good things, right? Obviously, with this one, you will have to take another bath so that you don't smell like breakfast, bacon and eggs, and you move and you're like, I'm hungry. You'll have to take 2 baths for the sake of hygiene. But if you like if you are comfortable with this, with the smell of an egg, you like what you like. But it's not what I said. 2, if you have If you fall under any of the categories that I mentioned, and you happen to have my Dawa shower gel, and you realize that your issues are systematic, man, your issues, despite how many times you've been gathered, you've been bathed, you've been cleansed, you've been prayed for, despite how many times all of these rituals that we speak of have been done on you, and you are still not getting forward or getting a breakthrough, and you have this thing, you can mix it. Obviously, you'll have to break the egg and use it in a shower and bath and bath and bath and rinse yourself. I want all of you to prosper with all of my heart. This is the reason why I do this thing. In the least amount of effort, I pray to my ancestors and to God every time I do a ministry, that whatever that has been pulled or pushed or put inside of me, may it, in the very same way that it was in me, pushed, pull, or whatever that it got into me, may it get into you. I come with the purest of intentions, like many other healers do. And all we ever want you to do is to prosper. Honestly, it's really, really, really to prosper. And I'm glad that we are doing that. So let it work for you. Let your ancestors go, your good ancestors go ahead of you. Ne? So this one, something's just speaking to me. I don't know who of you is going through a spirit of people ending up in jail. These are people that either will get into criminal activities, criminal activities will follow them, and this is also how you break the spirit of going and ending up in jail. Something has just said, I must talk to you with regards to that.